So I've returned to the location that I was scouting out yesterday. And I had set up my camera here and found a composition that worked pretty well, but it was just too windy to take a picture. And one of the things I've learned is that oftentimes the mornings are very calm versus afternoons that are windy. And evenings can be windy too, but usually once the sun goes down, it calms down a fair amount. But the photo I've set up here, I'm shooting a sort of a sediment abstract. And I want to show you how I have the camera set up here because I get some questions about that from time to time. So I chose a 450mm lens, which is a moderately long lens. Not a super long lens. I have a 600 as well, but the 450 does quite well here. I basically had to use just a hair of front tilt, just a tiny little bit, but that's about it. Pretty straightforward photo. I'm at f/45, which is kind of my go-to aperture for a lot of photos. And my exposure time, I metered it at, I can't remember if it was 5 or 6 seconds. And then I had to add a little bit of extra time for reciprocity failure. But pretty cool scene. It feels pretty good to be able to take a photo first thing in the morning. And the light conditions we have here, the sun is coming up from that direction over there, and then we have some clouds in the sky as well, which gives nice soft light, which is what I wanted for this shot, because that way you end up having, I think, a lot of the sort of pastel sort of colors come forward, which is really nice. But feels pretty good to expose some film. Now I gotta load some more film because between yesterday and today I exposed all the Velvia 50 that I had in holders. And storm's gonna be coming in, and then we'll see what comes after that. So I'm wandering through a wash, and this is an area I haven't been to before. And one of the things I like to do is I like to spend a lot of time just kind of wandering around and see what I could find. And there's something about Capitol Reef that really keeps me excited about being here and about trying to get some photos here. I don't know exactly what it is. I think it's the fact that it's has a lot of the familiar things from Zion, but also there's a lot of variety as far as the differences in the sandstone and differences in the vegetation. And I can see myself spending a lot of time here over the next few years. I think in many ways this is kind of my new Zion. Not that I won't be going to Zion, still gotta go there quite a bit, but there's so much stuff to explore here. That's one of the things I really enjoy about going out on these trips and trying to find subjects, and going to a new location can certainly be a pretty cool experience. So if you remember, there's something I've learned on this trip, which is if you put on sunscreen, it's gonna rain. And I put on a lot of sunscreen before going on this hike because it was pretty hot, it was pretty warm, it was pretty sunny. And look what's coming in behind me here. I'm not gonna lie, that looks a little scary. So I am going to go ahead and get down this trail because I really don't want to get caught up in a pretty strong downpour, even though I know that I probably will. I'm also in a pretty high elevated area right now, so if there is any degree of lightning or anything like that, I don't want to be here, so I'm getting out of here. So after getting chased off that trail, I decided to make myself some dinner and then go back to town and fill up with gas because I was getting a little on the low side. And I was thinking on the way back, because there was an absolutely beautiful sunset that One of the great things about being a large format shooter is that you can watch a beautiful sunset and just enjoy it, because there's no real pressure of having to shoot it, because it takes so much effort to do so for the sort of spur of the moment shots. You can just kind of enjoy the show that goes on. So I did get some ideas today as far as what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, because tomorrow will be my last full day here in Capitol Reef. There's a scene I found today I think could make for a pretty cool sort of afternoon sort of photo. And so I will be taking my camera, some film, a couple lenses, all that stuff up there, and see what I can come up with. Because this will be my last opportunity to take a photo here on this trip. And then I think I'm going to be going on the backpacking trip as planned, because it looks like the weather is actually going to be pretty decent. So I'll be able to spend at least a few days or so down in one of my favorite little canyons. So pretty eventful day, that's for sure. If you love this content and want to help support my journey, you can do so by subscribing to my YouTube channel, telling a friend, or sending a voluntary contribution of just $24 a year with PayPal or Patreon, and depend on the generous support of people like you to produce this ad-free content. For more information on how to support me, please visit the donations section of my website. Thanks in advance for your support.